A lot of us want pastors to pray for us, but what we don't know is that sometimes these pastors are very frustrated. Today, I'm going to be sitting in an interview with a pastor for 6 years to talk about his experiences and some of the things the public do not know about their work. This is the Lucky Udu experience.
A lot of pastors has been dismissed because of sexual lust. A pastor having a beautiful woman as a wife and get dismissed in the place of work as a pastor because he went and slept with a woman whom his wife is more beautiful than. In the pastoral ministry, something that doesn't look good, at times the devil want to make it look good for you so that he will just find a way of trapping you. And when you get inside it, you will discover that it's the most ugly thing in life. They really said a pastor child should be the most holy among all. It is true that they receive teaching from us. They receive moral lessons from us. But then when they are outside, we don't guide them to know what they do. But we teach them the basics in our family. We teach them how to pray. They go on doing devotions with us. Thing that people outside don't understand is the devil is outside to seek, to hunt for people. And they start with us. If they can't get the parents, they go to the children.
Pastor Zenati, what is the most frustrating thing about your job that a lot of people don't know?
Well, when it comes to most difficult thing, or I should say, there are a lot of things that I would say that are difficult when it comes to pastoral ministry. But I'll be talking about how the challenge we face right in our hands that people don't really know that pastors face things like that. And one of these challenges, the pains we feel inside us, the tears that we wipe them away before people see them, and the inner voice that people are not hearing from us. And most of these things are really frustrating. And one of them is dealing with our family members, dealing with our wives and our children, like other people will really want to talk about, and they will really say a pastor child should be the most holy among all. But friends, I want us to understand this, that it is true that they receive teaching from us, they receive moral lessons from us. But then when they are outside, we don't guide them to know what they do. We don't really know what they do outside there. But we teach them the basics in our family. We teach them how to pray. They go on doing devotions with us. But one thing that people outside don't understand is the devil is outside to seek, to hunt for people. And they start with us. If they can't get the parents, they go to the children. And getting the children, they make the work we are doing look useless. Because people will say the pastor child is even useless. Talk more of my child. Look at the pastor child is useless. Come to talk about me. And that becomes so frustrating to my hearing or to any other person that is affected. And this is one of the challenge we face when it comes to pastoral ministry as relating to our children. And not just children. Okay, we have wives. You could imagine a pastor having a wife, they are really living right with them. Every other woman know that when she messed up in a house, she may be waiting for divorce. They can divorce her. But what happens in the pastoral family is this: a family of a pastor, the woman, if she has submitted herself to the devil to use her, or the devil has already succeeded in getting her, what she do is to cause problem and setback to her husband. And there you see the man thinking about how to set his family forward. And there he has problem in making messages, relevant messages that will affect families. Okay, for instance, I'm to talk about Family Week. I have a message to talk about during Family Week where I will have to tell a wife to respect her husband, a wife to take care of her children, a wife to do the needful thing as a wife. And my wife is not really doing that. You see, at that point, I'll have to silence some facts, not because those facts are not relevant to the public congregations, but because people will be mocking me knowing that my wife is failing me at that point. And those things are the inner voice that pastors don't speak them out. We cry, we wet our pillows with tears, and outside there we smile. But when we come inside, we don't say all of those things, and they are really affecting us. And there are other things except what you'll be asking again to know.
Yeah, a lot of people look up to pastors.
Yes.
When they have problems, they run to their pastor.
Yeah.
And there's this conversation on social media that if a member needs help, pastors will pray for them. But if pastor needs help, members will donate to pastors. What do you have to say about that? I'm sure there must be something people don't really understand about the church that make them to feel like everybody who needs help should get money from the church.
Okay, this is a fact. It's something happening really. I have had that to my ear, this particular thing to my ear, where someone says everything is about the church. Everything the church asks is money, and you see the pastor don't even have needs when it comes to money. It's true. You see, the church is where a lot of families gather, and whatever that happens in the church, there are a lot of problems that happens in the church that the church will try to raise welfare for the members, except the church, like in my denomination where I serve. When there is problem, we have elders. Those elders, they try to iron things. When they bring it on board, a member tell the elders we have to find a way of visiting. So we have a welfare elder who fix things like this. And when it comes to pastoral problem, it is that same elder that would have to talk to the member. That's when it comes to my own denomination. Though as a pastor, I have the power to tell people that I have a problem, and they will look to my need as well. And when a member have a problem, you have a power to tell the member, the board of elders, that we have a problem, and we'll find it a way of sorting out things.
But this is for members that are dedicated in church, right? Or just even visitors?
As a member of the church, whoever is a member of the church, if you have
whether
a need,
you are frequent or not.
Yes, when we know you are a member of the church, you have a need, we find a way to attend to you, even though we may not solve all the problems of all your needs, but we'll try our best to see that yes, you have been attended to.
Can you attend to what's the population in your church?
Population in my church.
You are serving under a church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I didn't mention that when I started talking. I should have done that. It's an acronym. So we are, in fact, it's even international. It's international. Is across Nigeria now. There are countries.
Yes, I think I've heard of it.
Okay.
So like how many people are in your church?
Okay, the members I have in my church, we are 152.
Okay. Now, if let's say 10 members or 15 members in a month have financial challenges or they need money for surgical operations, how will you attend to every single person? Let's just say 20 in a month. Okay,
the question you ask is very, very vital. Like what we do here, more especially in the place where I am, because churches, it depends on the strength of a particular church. Like where I am now, when there is a problem that I think we in the board of elders cannot solve it, at times in the church, I will talk to my members. Now tell them the needs. Now tell them how urgent it is. And we members, in fact, without anything, willingly, if you have any needs to support, people will be coming out to make support. And the same thing will happen when it comes to another person. So other people, members, are not expecting, when it comes to my turn, at least people should do something like this.
Exactly.
And this, now just like you have said this, now it has come to a point where people feel justice is not getting to their place as well. Now, there's a person that will come with a need of 5,000 naira, for instance, and someone comes with a need of 50,000 naira. There are two different things. Okay, the church cannot raise 50,000 and it's the case of urgency. What we do is ask people to help. And you that come with maybe the case of 5,000 naira, if we can give you 3,000 naira from it, it must not take us to announce your case to people. And some people feel when it's my turn, nobody knows about it. And even when they've been hurt, even when we give them the support 100%, they still feel like nobody knows about my case. So at times I used to feel like, are they really coming to announce their problem to people, or they really want the assistance? So there are a lot of, just like different individuals are in the church, they have their different needs, different thoughts and views over life and situations.
Well, churches are different, and even mega churches cannot really help everybody, honestly. There are people that think that, because they are in a sad situation, that if they go to church and meet a pastor, that automatically the pastor will be able to help them. But what they don't know is that most times they are not the only one talking to the pastor. In a day, it's possible the pastor is receiving hundreds of requests. And then how many can he help? And if he's helping everybody, when it's time to really help his main people, how will he be able to help them? So these are things that a lot of people don't really see. But of course, we have pastors who probably don't care so much about other people except themselves. They see the position they have as an opportunity to become successful and to enjoy privileges. I'm curious to know how most of you pastors deal with lust. You guys receive lots of attention in the sense that people worship you guys sometimes with respect, with honor. We've seen cases where even married people want to be calling their pastor daddy. They want to serve, they want to kneel down, they want to always be close to their pastor, want to help their pastor to do certain things, even if he's going to his house to wash his clothes, prepare food and bring to him, give him food stuff. There's this closeness. They just want to make sure that their pastor is all right. Now, in the whole atmosphere of love and caring for their pastor, on the other side, how does the pastor deal with lust? Because it becomes hard to not lust after somebody who is only just trying to care for you.
Okay.
Except you want to tell lies. If you are being truthful, I believe pastors sometimes experience loss. Maybe not in this scenario, but in other scenarios. Is this something you are comfortable to talk about?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, it's fine. It's true that pastors we experience a lot of lust. There are a lot of, in fact, we are humans, and the only thing that will help a pastor when it comes to lust, it's the mind, how he disciplines his mind and other things. But other than that, we also feel we experience a lot of lust. I really appreciate you when you were coming in with they want to help us and they want to do that, and someone will really come not with the help in mind, but to maybe find a way of getting in to show herself, and from that she can be able to tell what she can do or show what she have, so that pastor will get lost and fall in. A lot of pastors has been dismissed because of sexual lust. A pastor having a beautiful woman as a wife and get dismissed in the place of work as a pastor because he went and slept with a woman whom his wife is more beautiful than.
Why do these things happen?
It's lost. It's just general lost. And why these things are coming is it's actually a test of faith. a test of moments where a challenge will come, because Satan has a lot of strategy to see that the work doesn't move. And most pastors that feel these things are pastors who are vibrant, who are doing something that is making sense. They begin to feel this lost. They have preached lost, and loss has come to them, and they can't even pass it. We feel a lot of loss. Now, these things happen, sir, where you see someone having a particular person who is coming to help. Like what we do is people come, fetch water, and maybe mop the house, sweep the house. And some of them deliberately, like in one of my stations, I have talked to some women. When they come, they only tie wrappers on their chest. They don't even they don't have anything up. What they do is they tie wrappers on their chest. And when they come, and they'll want me to come and help them down. And
Help them down how?
Like take the water from the bowl from their head, and take it down. And it's you standing with a woman who is not properly dressed, and you are a man.
Yeah.
And after that, she will not go her way. She will stand and like to talk to you, discuss some things with you, and she'll begin to feel free with you.
Very friendly.
Yeah, very friendly with you. And at that point, just like I earlier said, we are humans. Mm-hmm. A pastor is a human. You begin to see her, except you talk to her and you are not looking at her. But when you are talking to her and looking at her, your sense organs will begin to activate, relate to themselves, and also tell you that, man, this woman could be good as well. And when you don't discipline yourself, is where you see that you fall into a lust that that will dismiss and terminate your relationship with the church. And in our denomination, we have a ranking, we have three set of ranks. We have the DCC, the GCC, the LCC, and we have people that will dismiss you. I don't own myself. I can be transferred from this place to another place, transferred from another place to. So highest I can spend in a station is 6 years. So there are people who have right to dismiss me if I misbehave. So what happens to me is I try to discipline myself. If I have a guest who is a woman in the house, I bring our chairs outside so that we'll sit. People who pass and see us will be able to understand that, yes, this is the plain thing happening. They are just sitting. But when we are inside, even when she don't seduce me, I can begin to feel my sense organ will begin to motivate me and tell me that this woman is beautiful and trying to make me want to try.
Now I'm worried about pastors who have offices. There are some pastors that where their office is located inside the church.
Yes, sir.
If anything is happening there, nobody else will know. Even their secretary is not with them in that office.
Yes.
Everyone is outside. It's just the pastor versus the visitor, the guest.
Yes.
So I'm just worried. How will a pastor deal with temptation, especially if the guest is indecently dressed? In some churches, there are strict rules about how you dress to church. But there are some churches that believe, come the way you are, the Lord will accept you. But if somebody comes the way she is, and the Lord even still accept her, but she says she wants to see pastor to discuss something personal. And now this pastor, I really don't know, but sir, what are your practical advice for forthcoming pastors that can help them to abstain from lust and sexual immorality? I also want you to tell them scenarios and cases where pastors that were doing well, serving God with their whole heart, went from 100 to 0 because of lust, or got publicly disgraced because of lust. And it is possible that was only happening for the very first time. So I think this will be an opportunity to educate young people. The society expects them to know, but to be honest, these guys are just like you and I. The only difference is that they were called. They were given a task, and they are trying their best to perform it. But fortunately, the temptation that holds us all, it's not specially designed for just you and I. These guys are also involved. Unfortunately, society doesn't really see it that way. So sir, please, would like to know the practical step.
Okay, other practical steps that will help a young minister to overcome sexual lust and other things and other manipulations that will makes you look useless before the eye of the congregation or other people. It's in fact, what I used to tell myself first is discipline. I used to cover it with discipline. When you are feeling those things and you discipline yourself, denying yourself all of whatever that may come. When you are even feeling it, you are even feeling lost. You are even seeing things happening, and what I do is discipline myself to see that I make myself uncomfortable for the future. Now, like when you talk about attending to other people, like having a person in the office, what I do basically is if I'm having a guest who is a female and she don't dress well, I sit with her outside. No matter what, if she's not properly dressed, I sit with her where people can pass and see us. And these are things that help us. Because no matter how my wife trusts me, no matter how she trusts me, when she walk in to my office and see me with a guest who is not properly dressed,
she'll feel insecure.
She will feel insecure. And it will take God to help me explain to her, okay, keeping my wife outside, if it's one of my elder or another member who comes with another problem, come and find us, two of us, only both of us in the office, it will take the help of God to let them know that nothing was happening in the office.
Sure.
So what I do is, if this person is not even properly dressed, if she's not properly dressed, I tell her to come out with me, let's sit. I bring our chairs outside, we'll sit and talk. And people who are not properly dressed, I have had one of them who came to my church. I was just sitting and I saw her walk in. When she walked in, I noticed her, and my ushers noticed her as well. The woman, the only thing that was not showing outside her body is that her nipples, the breast, half of the breast, almost all of the breast was showing out. From the shoulder down, nothing was showing up. I mean, it was just her body, her skin. And I was just about calling an usher to go and attend to that lady. Before I could call him, another usher noticed her and sort it out with her. So she came out with something, she covered her body with it. And now to her, I don't know how much comfortable she will be. And I don't know how people will walk out from their house with this kind of dress to church. And these are part of the things that are burdens to us, pastors. You preach and you still see people acting the way they act. So, advice I'm giving to pastors, young pastors out there is, if you have been given a church, if you have a church, if you don't have a church, you are aspiring to be a pastor, you are in the ministry already. What I'm saying here, what I want you to understand here is this: in all you do, you need to discipline your mind. Tell yourself, nothing will stop me from preaching the word of God. Also let yourself understand, let you yourself to understand that you are a vessel. And a vessel who is not properly used, who is not functioning, you are not longer good for use. Because as a vessel, if we have 2-3 vessels and one is being used every day, the other one will get spoiled. So you should discipline yourself, discipline your mind, and know that people are watching you in the night and the afternoon, where you think that nobody is seeing you. You should know that people are seeing you. If God wants to disgrace you, where you think there are no people, nobody, God will send someone who is just a passerby that knows you to pass there. And there you will feel disgrace. And you will not be relevant in the sight of people, neither in the sight of God. And when you settle your issues with God, people will not still take you serious. You will have a scars in your body that will not make you serious. So what I'm saying, friends, is you as a pastor, a young pastor listening to me, I want you to understand that what will take you to succeed in the pastoral ministry is discipline. Though I'm not an exception. I'm still disciplining myself. I'm still working and praying to God to help me find a way to abstain from challenges like this. And it is God who helps.
Yeah, God will continue to help you guys.
Amen.
It's not easy. You know something you mentioned about having issues with your partner.
Yes.
A pastor having issues with his wife. Now, a lot of people reach out to pastors for counseling.
Yeah.
Then you notice a girl comes to you and she's telling you how she has never been truly loved in her life. She doesn't know what's wrong and she needs a pastor to pray for her. And you look at this girl, she looks good. She's a definition of what every beautiful lady should look like. The way she speaks is divine. She's graced, the virtuous woman. The way she dresses, the way she greets, how polite she is. She's always texting, always calling. You're indulging her in prayer sections. That sometimes at some point you get so used to her that whenever her messages come, you feel glad. In fact, it was not necessary for you to tell her that, okay, let's be having midnight prayers. But you had to do that because you wanted to continue having conversations with her. You are not emotionally okay at home, but because there's just somebody who enjoys talking to you in a way that makes you feel seen. Whenever you guys talk, she wants to show extra care and concern. Well, Pastor, thank you for the prayer, but how is your own life too? I hope you are good. What did you do today? You know, some people can be that free.
Yeah, there are.
And that might just be so unusual that it gets to your heart in an unusual way, because nobody really sometimes even care to ask how you are doing. Everybody just tells you, thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. And they walk away. But this person does it so differently that it becomes even hard to not stop thinking about that person. Yet you are married. And at some point you begin to even think that maybe you're married so early, because the chemistry between you and this person, man, it looks
Feel
good.
like I would have seen her before my wife.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
How would a pastor deal with this? Is it like, how would a typical pastor deal with this? I know that based personality, it differs, right? So,
Yeah.
but I'm just curious to know if you're in a situation like that, what would you do?
Yeah, there are a lot of situations like this that happens, and in fact, not just single ladies that does this. In fact, even married women, they will show you a care where you feel like, this woman should have been my wife. And there are other people, just like you say, when they begin to show their cares and you feel like, I would have seen her before I met my wife. And it's not as if your wife is not doing the best, but it's just a kind of trap. Just like I said earlier, in the pastoral ministry, something that doesn't look good, at times the devil want to make it look good for you so that he will just find a way of trapping you. And when you get inside it, you will discover that it's the most ugly thing in life. And
oh my goodness, the way you described it is so funny.
And there are those things.
Some things look beautiful from afar.
Yeah, when you get into, you discover that it's a mess.
Not worth it at all.
And that's where you begin to ask yourself, what brought me here? How did I find myself here? And just like you said, you see, there are people like this that will really, they have offered their shoulder for you to lean on. They will tell you, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Whatever you want, please talk to me. And they will have a beautiful daughters that they have made them available for you for your service. They will not want to come see you themselves. They will send those beautiful daughters to come see you, to come send messages their messages to me. So now when they come, they will want to do other extra activities in the house. Maybe want to make clean up, want to do other things. And it's so funny enough that they will know that your wife is not around and they want to turn around. Because maybe they know your wife works maybe from 8 to 4, 8 to 2, 8 to 5. It depends. And they want to come at the point in the absence. Some will make a special dish for you. And when there's something that happened actually, I don't blame our wives though. Someone will make a beautiful dish and bring it. You see, when I see my wife squeezing face, I know she don't like it. Yeah. So what I do at times is I want her to test the food before I test her. When she tell me that, hey, I will say, we bought it together. It doesn't matter who brought it. So people that comes like this, at times when they come, mothers send their daughters to seduce pastors.
Do they do that consciously or unconsciously?
Well, to me, I think it's conscious.
What if the daughter... No, I don't think a mother wants to see, go and seduce that pastor. It's possible that some people, they just have that... I don't know what to call it. Some people say it's possession, but it's not. They are just being their real self. Some people are naturally flirty. Some people are naturally so jovial. They laugh at everything. They smile so much, they wouldn't even mind if you just held their hand. To them, it's nothing. So when you meet these categories of people, you might think that they are seducing you, but they might not really be doing that. Except over time, they've grown this fondness. And they feel like, I think I like this person, but it's forming hard. Pastor. Okay, let's see if you are strong enough. That is bettered from a place of innocence. But some people can look at it from a weird perspective and say this person was sent from the marine kingdom to test me. I'm just saying it's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, me, I'm a critical thinker. I think a lot, so I'm just trying to consider every possible perspective available to me. And well, Pastor, you guys go through a lot, though. It's not easy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy, and the public expects so much from you. I expect so much. Now, there are situations where we've heard that pastors forced themselves on people, especially a young person to come to you and say, I want to give my life to Christ. But on the other hand, the pastor is thinking of how to take advantage of that person. I've received so many cases. There are even some pastors. There's one I know very well. He's popular in Abuja here. He has a very big ministry in UK and Abuja. If I call his name, a lot of people would not even believe. But this girl was only 16 years old when she came to see him, and he forced himself on her in his boys' quarters. And if you look at this man, you would never believe it. You would never ever have the closest indication that someone like that, well respected, he's an elderly person, he's not even a young man. I think he's in his 50s, and I think his wife is even based in the UK. So this is a topic I don't even want to talk about right now. So why would a pastor choose to sacrifice his honor for something like that? And again, I don't know. They are saying that there are other cases where we've heard that Pastor did this, forced himself on this person, got the person pregnant, this and that. Well, you're not even the one I'm supposed to be asking this question, but sometimes we just think about it. Okay, if it's that bad, because there's what they call, we are sexual beings. We are naturally that way. And not everybody has strong discipline. It's so easy to pronounce discipline, but it's very difficult to express it, to exercise it. Very difficult. Some people find it easy. That doesn't mean that everyone is like that. Is it not better that a pastor is going out to do business with someone? Come and spend the night with me, and paying you, and that person is actually into the business, rather than taking advantage of people. And then if someone like me strategically decides to wake up one day and call this pastor out, not even just using social media to call, gathering up all the evidence that I can, going extra lengths, making contacts, strategically, not just using social media alone. People will say that, oh, you are trying to bring down someone. And I would even just know how I'm having this conversation. I'm not even, what do I even expect you to say, honestly? Because these are some of the sad things that are happening in ministry today. And that is also affecting the reputation of other pastors too.
That's true.
Because if tomorrow it becomes public knowledge that a certain pastor did so and so, people have this resentment for other pastors.
That's what's happening. What's happening, sir?
So I'm sure you've also experienced some sort of hatred or negative energy from people, not because of something you did directly to them, because of the notion
Of another pastor.
another pastor. You've experienced that,
Yeah,
right?
it's happening where, in fact, we lost. Now a lot of pastors have lost trust. A lot of pastors have lost trust. A lot of pastors are not having accommodations like they used to. A lot of pastors now are facing a lot of things that they did not do, but other pastors somewhere did it. Now, when you tell someone, I've told someone I'm a pastor, and he said, and so what? And the next thing is, I have seen a pastor that is bigger than you, who have done worst. So trusting a pastor, telling me you are a pastor, you want to manipulate me. And I felt bad. I really felt bad. I felt very, very bad at that point. Because, in fact, someone even said he's a pastor. I didn't even say myself that I'm a pastor. It's someone that said, this man is a pastor, I know him. I say, and so what? I've seen pastors bigger than him, well-known pastors, respected pastors that have done more than this. So why are you telling me he's a pastor? So a lot of people now don't trust pastors again. And it's not because this particular pastor is the one who have done something wrong, but is another pastor somewhere. It could be from the same denomination. It could be from another denomination. It could be someone who just came purposely to earn a living for himself as a pastor. But because he came in the name of a pastor and he messed up, it's affecting a lot of pastors who God is really using for the ministry to turn a lot of lives that has been changed. So now the challenge we face today as pastors when it comes to this is we really feel bad when we see other pastors. We see a lot of pastors in social media today. This pastor raped someone. This pastor was found in a sexual intercourse with someone's wives. We see a lot of them in the social media today. When we see them, we feel bad. And more especially when, let's assume it's me, the both of us now discussing, and he said, please, look at this. It's a pastor who has done this. When you are showing me this, I do feel mock. I feel you are mocking at me. You want to show me what we are doing. That's how I feel it. And at that point of discussion, no matter what we were discussing, I will not be as free as I was, because it will be bothering me. It will be a burden to me. Look at what a colleague have done. Why are people doing this? Now, the thing is, just like I said, and you also said, is discipline. Whatever that comes, it has to take a person who has disciplined his mind to do what it takes. A person who see a well, a very long, deep well, a pit, no matter what is inside that place, if you see a valuable thing inside that pit, you want to take no matter what is inside. There's a way you discipline your mind to go in and get that thing, and you get out of it. No matter what you want to do, it has to take discipline. Like what I used to do. What I used to do is, all these are single girls that turns around me. They call me daddy. What comes to me is, if no matter how attracted they are to me, if I turn around and they say, daddy, what is it you want to do? This is one thing that will help me. Or that is helping me. Daddy, me again. This daddy alone is killing everything in me. It's one of these discipline. It makes me see them not just like a biological father, but I'm actually saying, because as a spiritual father, they have entrusted me with this daddy of a thing. So I used to feel honored, and I get afraid. And I ask God, please give me the strength. No matter how they turn around, no matter how they show themselves, if they want to even use that name to trap me, God help me to overcome it. So there's something I think is very important to say. You know, some people think we don't have a quarrel with our wives. We do. We do. Basically, like myself, most of challenge I have in with my wife, most of them comes Saturday evening. I have noticed it. I noticed that. And when I noticed it, I quickly talked to my wife. I told her about this. I said, have you noticed when we are having quarrel, it used to come Saturday evening? Have you noticed that? And do you know why? If I'm preaching tomorrow, I'm addressing an issue tomorrow in my message. If I remember both of us are having a quarrel to settle, we are having a cause to settle. If I remember, I will not be confident on the pulpit. So it's another challenge, it's another strategy that the devil has brought upon us. So please, I want you to help me. And this is how, when I told her this, at that point, we have discipline, we have overcome such. Although I will not say we don't have problems, but even when it comes in, I don't see it as anything. I don't see it. And she herself, I was saying, pastor's wife, tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow is Sunday. It seems you will preach tomorrow. She will turn it to joke. She will take it as a joke. I don't like what you are doing. I don't like what you are doing. Then we find a way of settling at that point. So these are things, a lot of things that pastors face. A lot of pastors today, they preach what they don't practice in their families. A pastor is going through trauma in his marriage and he's settling marriages.
It's an irony.
Yeah, you are going through a lot of traumas in your marriage and other people are coming with problems similar to your own. You settle their own and your own is in a mess. And you know this thing of their family, they are living well, they don't have problem. We smile, a lot of pastors, we smile outside, and when we come in and we are traumatized, we don't have confidence in our marriages. So one of these things that happen to pastoral family, when it comes to marriages, the children, it's a very, very big thing that really traumatized the pastor. A pastor, okay, let's assume, presently we are having a women week in our church. I've been given a teaching. I teach yesterday. I teach yesterday. Okay, now let's say in my teaching there are a lot of cases I need to address. Now, if I meet with a case that I'm facing in my family, at that point I will not be confident to say it. My wife is sitting and listening to me. At times she'll be like, So you see, I will lost confidence at that point. And when she give another sign, there is this thing that will tell people that it's not well with their family. And maybe she raise hand. You know, when she raise hand, I cannot stop her. When she raise hand and she begin to answer, out of her anger, she may say a lot of things that will make signal that this thing is actually affecting their marriage as well. So what happens is, when things come like this, what me personally do is, I find a way of disciplining it. I used to say, if we'll spend 6 days having issue, and in the 7th day we'll settle, we'll be cheating ourselves. There are a lot of things I'll see in my wife that I want to collect from her, but because we are not having good relationship, I'll lose that thing. When we settle, at that point, those things has already gone. So what happens is, I will turn it even with a joke. I'll just smile over her and say, hey, and find a way of running through her and settle the issue. Either, no matter how, just find a way of settling it. So a lot of people who are not who are not determined, they sleep with issues in their marriages, as pastors even, and it affects them. Yes. But discipline and determinations is those things that helps not even a pastor, that helps every marriages to stand strong and win. So colleagues over there, as a pastor, maybe you are facing challenge of this kind. I'm not perfect though, but these are things that I do that works for me. I find a way. I don't want to sleep with it. I'll talk to her. Let's settle this thing, and we find a way of fixing it. Because people understand we have problems when we have issues. Our members understand, and because they understand we have issues, it is a good thing we settle it. And when we settle it, it's fine. They will learn from us, and we will be active to do God's word, and it will succeed as well. Thank you, sir.
Wow, interesting. This give me a deep insight to an extent what a lot of pastors go through, and I've never really had a deep thought about it before now. Honestly, we see things happening on social media every day and we just wonder why. And this interview or discussion, whatever I call it, is just another way to remind you that your pastor might be going through challenges that you don't even know anything about. The easiest thing to do is to drag them. But what if we decide to move with understanding this time around? Because some of these people may be going through battles that are just too difficult, and they've been called to serve, and they have to serve. Every Sunday the church has to be open. There was one funny thing I saw. They say the pastor won Bet Ninja and he did not open church.
That's serious.
On Sunday.
That's serious. So
that was so funny. Like, it was so
it means
funny.
it's not about the lives of the people. It's about the money.
Exactly. So pastors generally, a lot of them, especially those that do not have mega churches, I'm curious to know how they survive, because a lot of people say that all the money that is being donated to the church, the tithe, the offering, everything goes to the pastor. But then sometimes we also hear that some of these monies are usually not much, and it only happens maybe once in a week, which is Sundays. Oh, they also do evening service twice a week. That sometimes the money is generally not even enough, and that sometimes these monies are remitted to the head church. I don't know if that's true. And when this happens, sometimes the pastor is left with little or nothing. That a pastor can be so broke that he does not even have transport to go and buy something in the market, or he does not even have internet subscription or even airtime. He and his family sometimes may not even have anything to eat. And that's why you see a lot of people these days using social media to pray for people, hoping that by praying for people that they can find something, no matter how little it is. They can find favor in the eyes of strangers or people that listened to their prayer or something, and that way they'll be able to cope while still doing the work of God. But a lot of people don't see it that way. They castigate these pastors. They say a lot of obnoxious things about them without truly understanding that these people are only trying to survive. Some of them might not have money in their account. They might be owing loans, but they have to wear suits every day to church. And just because the pastor is wearing suits does not mean that he doesn't have problems.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it.
So as a pastor, what are some things you've had to do to survive while still working? Although we are under a certain church, I don't know if this is a conversation you want to have, because I don't want you to have a conversation that will affect you. And also, I don't know if maybe your own